Picture this. You drop a healing rift, and instantly, waves of arc energy pulse out, blinding and obliterating everything around you. This build is all about spamming Healing Rift and generating an absurd amount of Bolt Charges and Ionic Sentries, turning you into a living storm of electricity. Every rift triggers Vesper of Radius, sending out arc shockwaves that create explosions on final blows. With an arc super equipped, these shockwaves blind everything nearby. The more enemies around you, the faster your rift comes back, keeping this cycle going non-stop. Welcome to Insightful Gaming. If you enjoy game-breaking builds like this, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more Destiny 2 content. Just when you think that's strong enough, Osteo Striga takes it to another level. Its Toxic Overload perk spreads poison on final blows or precision hits, helping you quickly rack up 10 bolt charges, causing lightning to strike everywhere while feeding into Ionic Sentry. This combination is so much damage, I was shocked at how well Vesper of Radius and Osteo Striga work together. And we're just getting started. Our fragments, aspects and armor mods make this build even crazier. So stick around to see how everything comes together. Chapters are available for easy viewing, and if you want to run this build with me, join the Discord. The link is in the description, and I'm always looking for more Guardians to squad up with. Add me, and let's play together. At the core of this build is Vesper of Radius, an exotic that turns your Healing Rift into a constant source of damage and battlefield control. Every time you drop a rift, it sends out arc shockwaves that damage enemies, and if you land a final blow with them, they trigger arc explosions. While using an arc super, these shockwaves also blind nearby enemies, making this incredibly strong for crowd control and survivability. The more enemies around you, the faster your rift recharges, keeping the cycle going non-stop. Pairing this with Osteo Striga makes the build even stronger. Its Toxic Overload spreads poison on final blows or precision hits, letting you quickly stack up 10 bolt charges. This fuels Ionic Sentry, causing lightning strikes everywhere, while also giving you 6 Ionic Sentry charges, keeping your damage output insanely high. The synergy between Vesper of Radius and Osteo Striga is unreal. You're constantly healing, blinding enemies, triggering explosions, and calling down lightning strikes, all while melting everything with poison. For the heavy weapon, you have a strong choice with the new Watchful Eye machine gun. It rolls with Rolling Storm, which grants bolt charge on final blows, and if you're amplified, those kills grant even more bolt charges. This keeps Ionic Sentry constantly active, making sure your lightning turrets never stop firing. It also rolls with Wellspring, which helps recharge your abilities faster, further fueling the cycle of healing rifts, shockwaves, and arc explosions. With the seasonal mod Hold the Line, machine guns get increased reload speed and stability when surrounded, and kills even heal you, making Watchful Eye an insanely strong option. For abilities, we're running Chaos Reach, a high damage arc super that melts champions and bosses while benefiting from our arc synergy. Healing Rift is the core of the build, triggering Vesper of Radius's shockwaves and arc explosions, while also keeping us alive. Ball Lightning extends our damage range and helps generate Ionic Traces, which bring our abilities back even faster. Pulse Grenade is the perfect choice. It lingers on the battlefield, constantly dealing damage, generating bolt charges, and feeding into Ionic Sentry. Our aspects take this to another level. Arc Soul provides a mini arc turret every time we drop a rift, giving us free passive damage and support for teammates. Ionic Sentry is where things get ridiculous. Every time we gain bolt charges, we spawn lightning turrets that zap enemies, and this build maxes out charges constantly, ensuring the battlefield is flooded with arc energy. Fragments make everything even stronger. Spark of Shock makes our grenades jolt enemies, adding extra damage while generating Ionic Traces to refund abilities. Spark of Beacons makes final blows with Arc Special, or heavy weapons create blinding explosions when we're amplified, shutting down entire groups of enemies. Spark of Frequency increases weapon reload speed and stability on melee hits, and when amplified, it also boosts bolt charge generation from all sources, keeping Ionic Sentry going non-stop. Spark of Resistance rounds it all out, giving us damage resistance when surrounded, making us even harder to kill. To keep this build running at full power, we're using armor mods that maximize ability uptime, bolt charge generation, and damage output. On the helmet, Dynamo reduces super cooldown when using Healing Rift near enemies. Heavy Ammo Finder ensures we have consistent heavy drops, and Kinetic Siphon generates orbs of power from Osteo Striga multi-kills, feeding into our armor charge system. For gauntlets, Bolstering Detonation grants class ability energy when grenades hit enemies, ensuring we can drop more Healing Rifts, and Heavy Handed generates orbs of power on melee kills, further fueling ability uptime. On the chest, we're stacking defensive mods to improve survivability and high-end content. Our boots run triple kinetic weapon surge, which increases Osteo Striga's damage whenever we have armor charge, making its poison spread even deadlier. Finally, our Warlock Bond has Reaper, which generates orbs of power on weapon final blows after using a class ability, and Time Dilation, extending the duration of armor charge effects. Seasonal mods take this build to the next level. Overclock and Load increases handling and reload speed for arc weapons when amplified or at max bolt charge, making Watchful Eye feel even smoother. Hold the Line boosts reload speed and stability for machine guns when surrounded, and Final Blows even heal us, adding even more sustain. Dielectric grants bolt charge when defeating arc debuffed enemies, which is always happening thanks to Jolt and Osteo Striga's poison. Flashover ensures that when we max out bolt charge, we also become amplified, and our lightning strikes deal more damage. Defibrillating Blast is another game changer. Stunning a champion grants max bolt charge, triggers an arc bolt that heals you, and jolts enemies caught in the blast, making this build perfect for high-end content. The real magic of these mods is how they work together. Every time you hit max bolt charge, Flashover makes sure you're always amplified, feeding into Overclock and Load for faster reloads and handling on arc weapons. Dielectric keeps bolt charges rolling in from every enemy poisoned by Osteo Striga, while Defibrillating Blast ensures champions instantly feed back into the loop. This means you'll be generating bolt charges, ionic traces, and ionic sentries constantly, making sure your abilities and damage output never slow down. This build melts everything. Constant healing rifts, arc explosions, bolt charges, and ionic sentries keep the battlefield completely under your control. Vesper of Radius and Osteo Striga work together perfectly, ensuring you're always dealing damage, generating bolt charges, and blinding enemies while staying alive. If you enjoyed this build, hit that like button and subscribe for more game-breaking Destiny 2 content. Chapters are available for easy navigation, and if you want to squad up, join the Discord. The link is in the description. I'm always looking for more Guardians to play with. Add me, and let's take this build into the endgame together.